I'll run down on some of the headlines for this Wednesday, May 24th, 2017. As always, there are many more stories than I have time for, but I do a 30 to 40-minute audio version that I email to my subscribers. If you'd like to get in on that, the address is steve@radiofreespeech.com. Send me an email, and I will respond with a sample. South Korea fired at some object that came in over the north. They think it may have been a drone. It's not unheard of for the north to send drones over, but they shot it to pieces with some cannon fire. Obviously, the tensions there are still quite high. A journalist from the Deutsche Welle newspaper reporting in the Congo has been released after having been accused of spying, but the journalist is still being held in Burundi. Trump's budget includes some major slashes to social programs, but includes $1.6 billion for his wall, not likely to pass as it is. The Manchester attack that happened Monday night, the Ariana Grande concert, Salman Abedi has been named as the bomber by police. And there's another story mentioning how vulnerable the UK is now to terror attacks because of frustrated jihadis that are unable to get to Syria. They basically, because of the travel restrictions, they're stuck in the UK. They'd like to go and fight the Crusaders in Syria. Instead, they're being urged to fight the Crusaders on the Crusaders' home turf. So that's where that's coming from. There's a number of things that Europe is afraid of in terms of the Brexit negotiations. That has been spelled out. Chief among them are protections for citizens of the EU that are remaining behind in the UK. Also, the Chechen human rights ombudsman has slammed the latest claims of LGBT persecution as hype, saying that there's not a single shred of proof that there's a single gay person in Chechnya. And all of this is just a sham to try to change Chechen society. Sir Roger Moore has died, James Bond actor, aged 89, and so has NFL Hall of Famer Cortez Kennedy. He was 48. No word yet on his cause of death, but they say it's not suspicious. Medvedev is talking about making a reduction in mortgage rates in Russia to between 6 and 7%. And ex-CIA chief Brennan says that an inquiry into the Trump-Russia connection is, quote, well-founded, saying that when he was at the CIA, he saw evidence of attempts by Russia to suborn is the word he used, basically subordinate the members of the Trump campaign. No clear evidence of whether or not they actually got their cooperation, but he says it's worth looking into. Ousted South Korean President Park has gone on trial. She could face life behind bars if she is convicted. And it looks like Spanish Generation Y-ers are suing their parents for financial support. There's actually a Spanish law on the books that actually forces parents to continue to financially support their children until they are financially independent. I'm really glad that we don't have that law in this country. I'm also really glad that we teach our children to be financially independent as soon as possible. I mean, my 12-year-olds are out there looking for jobs, anything they can possibly do. Not child labor, mind you. All right, last story is that a new company in New Zealand is creating robots that they believe within the next 10 years they could have them in people's homes and businesses with the ability to feel and think like humans. And that'll be the subject of my commentary today. Check me out. The website is radiofreespeech.com. Thank you.